Today we're going to talk about two multimeter modes that we use all the time, the continuity mode and the diode mode. You can see on most multimeters that these two icons are placed together. Let me explain why many multimeters are designed this way. Manufacturers put continuity and diode mode together because they are closely related. Both modes send a small voltage through the circuit to check whether a current can flow. Continuity mode simply checks if 2 points are connected. It beeps when there's a path. Diode mode checks the forward voltage drop of a component, especially diodes and semiconductor circuits. Since both modes rely on the same basic principle, testing conductivity, they are grouped under the same symbol. That's why you often see them combined on a diode. Continuity is not for measuring resistance. Continuity mode only tells you one thing: whether 2 points are electrically connected. If it beeps, they are connected. If it doesn't beep, they are not connected. It does not tell you the resistance value, so you cannot use continuity mode to judge if a component is good or bad. Since continuity mode and diode mode are combined on most multimeters, we usually measure in a specific way. We touch the red probe to ground and use the black probe to test the point we want to check. If we test a point and we don't hear any beep, and we also don't get any diode reading, that means this point is completely disconnected from ground. In other words, the trace is broken and there is no electrical path at all. If the meter beeps, that means the point is connected to ground. If it doesn't beep, the meter will show a number, and that number is not resistance. It's called the forward voltage drop. This value tells us how much voltage is needed for current to flow through that part of the circuit. In board repair, this forward voltage reading is extremely useful for checking whether a line, a component, or an IC pin is behaving normally. Of course, we can also place the red probe on the ground side of a capacitor and measure from there. But that's not very convenient, and sometimes the probe doesn't make good contact, which gives us unreliable results. So in most cases, we simply touch the red probe to a large ground area on the board. That's the easiest and most stable way to measure. Let me show you a simple example. When we repair devices, we often rely on schematics, especially when external parts stop working, like the camera or the display. Of course, we can first try replacing the external part to see if it works, but if it still doesn't work after replacement, then we need to check the connector on the motherboard. At that point, we measure the forward voltage readings on the connector pins to see if each line is behaving normally. These readings help us identify whether the problem is in the external part, the connector, or the circuit behind it. On most schematics, when we zoom in, we can see the forward voltage reference values printed next to each pin. These numbers are extremely useful during troubleshooting. When we measure a connector, we use the diode mode and compare our reading with the value shown on the schematic. If the reading matches the reference, the pin is good. If the reading is missing or way off, that tells us the fault is somewhere along that line. Of course, schematics give us a lot of information we can reference. Every test point usually comes with notes showing which line it connects to or which chip it belongs to. But for today, we're not going to focus on all those details. What we really want to look at is the forward voltage value. This number is the key for demonstrating the basic measurement method with a multimeter. By comparing our diode mode reading with the value shown on the schematic, we can quickly tell whether a pin or a line is behaving normally. Alright, after checking the reference values on the schematic, we go back to the motherboard and test the same points. By comparing our readings with the schematic, we can quickly tell whether the point is working normally or not. This is how we use forward voltage measurements to confirm if a line or a pin is functioning correctly. Now we place the red probe on the metal surface of the SSD, because that whole surface is grounded. Then we use the black probe to measure each pin on the connector. We can see that the readings we measured are basically the same as the values shown on the schematic. That means these points are working normally, but if one of the points shows a reading that is significantly higher or lower than the reference value, that usually indicates a problem in the circuit connected to that pin. When that happens, we follow the schematic to trace the related line or component, and then we inspect and repair the fault based on what the diagram shows. This is how forward voltage measurements help us quickly locate issues on the board. When we measure the connector, we should avoid pressing too hard with the probes. If we apply too much force, it's very easy to bend or damage the pins on the connector. We can see that these 2 points have no forward voltage reading at all. When a point shows no value in diode mode, that usually means the line is open. The circuit connected to that pin is broken. So in this case, these 2 points are not connected to the rest of the circuit anymore. Next, we need to follow the schematic and trace the related line to find where the break is and repair it. We can see that these points we measured earlier showed no forward voltage reading, while the schematic clearly shows valid reference values. This means those points are not behaving normally. Alright, that's all for the continuity mode and the diode mode for now. Now, let's take a quick look at the resistance mode. This mode is one of the most basic, but also one of the most important functions on the multimeter. In resistance mode, we measure how much resistance a component or a circuit line has, and this helps us quickly identify whether a part is damaged, shorted, or not making proper contact. To be honest, I rarely use the resistance mode because resistors almost never fail. Most of the time, a resistor only burns when the boost circuit goes out of control. For example, many phones that still used LCD instead of old, resistors would sometimes burn and create an open circuit, so when we suspect that an open line might be caused by a damaged resistor, we can use the resistance mode to check it. But in most cases, an open circuit can also be confirmed using the continuity mode. When we want to check the actual resistance value to confirm whether a resistor is damaged, we simply place the red and black probes on the 2 ends of the resistor. We should not place the red probe on ground, because that will route the measurement through many other circuits and give an inaccurate reading. Let's use this resistor as an example and compare the value we measure with the value shown on the schematic. We can see that this small resistor measures around 390 ohms. Now let's switch over to the schematic and compare the value. Let's look for it. The resistor is really small, so it's a bit hard to spot. This should be the correct resistor. Let's tap on it and take a look. Alright, I can see it's labeled as 390, which means it's a 390 ohm resistor. The value matches our measurement, so this resistor is good. And that's basically it. Many times the resistor burns out, but we don't know what value it originally had. In that case, we can measure a good one on the board or check the schematic and then replace the damaged resistor with the correct value. Let's measure one more sample. In this example, we can see the meter showing 2.2K, which means 2200 ohm. Alright, now let's use the multimeter to check whether this resistor's value is normal. Same thing here, we simply touch both ends of the resistor with the black and red probes to measure it. We can see the reading is a little over 2100 ohms, which is close to 2200. That means this resistor is also good. A small amount of deviation is completely normal. Now, I demonstrate what happens when the red probe is not placed on the resistor, but instead touches the ground point. Hitty! We can see that this resistor measures 390 ohms when the probes are placed correctly on both ends of the component. This reading reflects the true resistance value, because the measurement is taken directly across the resistor's terminals. But when the red probe touches a ground point on the motherboard instead, what result do we get? We can see that when the black probe touches both sides of the resistor, the reading shows more than 250 kilo ohms. The resistance appears extremely high, And with this measurement method, we cannot determine whether the resistor is good or bad. That's all for today's video. Hope you found it helpful. Every small detail makes a big difference in repair work. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech repair tutorials.